There it is.
Okay, we go live now. So how's the elephants going?
Good. Thanks for
Good,
having
good.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm.
and how's the everything's on the UN? And I know it's like you guys are going to organize something in the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about board brewing and then fucking productions going on in LA.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, Peter. You can give a summary on board brewing, but from my perspective, it went just about as well as we could have expected. I think we were burning the midnight oil, and we went right up until the stroke of midnight to get things ready. Like we were literally like finished up, cleaning everything up, and then opened the doors, and it was crazy. But
Yeah, exactly.
epic weekend.
And let's see. Um, so how is that everything's going? I want to know like how's the story like behind and everything's and when we're doing the live play, we probably want to go for about House of Stuff from zero to become a Boyfriend's new brewer store, and I know want to know about the behind the story. But before that, we get started on the spay today. Um, I want to apologize. Today Wi-Fi may have problems, so if you see any screen as pixels, normals is on tag, it's not into me. So first, congratulations you guys about the boy brewers, and such an amazing UN. Um, let's just start with the committee news. So I think everyone's very excited for the bundles packet, and everyone get this bundle packet yet?
Of
And
course.
yeah, I think it's once it's live, everyone just like start to like buying that. It's crazy. Everyone just want to log in, and it's a funny like this time they just sell earlier. So last year I remember in the A fast everyone's complaint is not enough time to buy. Now it's actually a good time. And yeah, if you see on the March packet, it's just amazing as well. So um I did buy two packets, the one for myself and the other one just for the collection. But I don't know how about you guys. Did you get one or get two?
I think you'd only buy one, right?
No, you can
The
buy
one
two.
you want to get.
You can buy
What?
two. Yeah, I just got it again today. You
What?
can buy two.
if
Yeah,
if
you
if
go
there
for
was if there was anyone that would know you could buy two, I would have guessed it would be Gene. I think Gene like is in my mind is so tapped into the merch,
it.
Damn.
right?
Yes.
Like, and that's such a big part of the culture. I feel like if BYC said, hey, just put out your credit card on file and we'll auto order it for you. I think there'd be a bunch of people that would do that, you know?
Exactly. And yeah, how's it like Jason and Peter, do you buy two or buy one?
I didn't buy any, so I'll be the odd man out. Um, you
I'm
know,
not gonna share with you, just be honest. So
that's where I was going. I thought you were gonna say you bought the second one for me, right? So
no, no.
yeah, I'm just planting the seed now. I hope to sway that decision differently later.
How's it, Peter? Peter, do you buy one or buy two?
I didn't get any.
Oh no,
What
you
is
should get
going on with
one.
this group?
Uh, yeah, so I still don't know if I can make it out there. So it's a pickup on site, right?
Yeah.
So
So
Oh
it's
yeah,
no.
I just see it after I pay it, and you do have to pick up in outside. So they do have like the solution say that hey, if you're not able to pick up in outside, you probably can choose another way in later. But I'm not sure what's coming on. And but if you buy the bundle, just make sure you're able to go there to pick up. If not, just don't order and just don't spend your money on go pick up. Yeah. But
yeah.
I'm
I
sure
I
it's fun. Yeah.
Still got the
I
baby at home, so I'm not sure. We'll see. It's a long. I've been trying to convince my wife to fly out there and have a little vacation, but 12 hours on a plane with a. She'll be a year and a bit. Our youngest. Just doesn't seem like it's gonna fly. So
yeah.
Yeah.
it might just be. It'll probably be just me. I end up going, but at last minute. But I just haven't committed yet, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going, and there's just been doing a lot of stuff around the brewery here, so I haven't been paying a lot of attention to the world. So I briefly saw it in the board meeting yesterday, or I heard about it in the board meeting yesterday. So
I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's fair, right? I think I also see it as just like a teaser, right? It's just an appetizer for like the upcoming merch. So I think even though it looks cool, I'm kind of like, oh, like I'm almost more excited to see what else is cooking. And I think they announced yesterday what James Costa is helping
Hmm.
with a bunch of his merch, and I think that's why we also see some of the change in how they're executing it, right? So great to see kind of actually the feedback and kind of putting that into practice now.
Yeah, I think what Jeff mentioned there was, people were, throwing out ideas, can you do this and this and that? And he said, we finally are engaged with a team that can do all of those things. So it seems like he's referring to James and the company that he's done built. And fun fact, they did Clubhouse Archives did our F50 varsity jackets, which are so clean. So we can definitely attest to the quality. Yeah, there it is. Peter's pointing at it. Yeah, we can attest to the quality of the workmanship.
yeah, I think it's reasonable price for 18. I think it's $18.5 or $18.8, forget. But they include socks, include a T-shirt, and also include camera. I was planning, so since I was planning maybe my whole family is going, so my kid can even taking the camera going around. That'd be super
So,
fun, and I think that would be great family memory. Yeah, let's get started in the next part about the community news. All we know, this is kind of like a huge news for the MBA brand because Fanny just nonstop. Those dudes just nonstop stopping to supporting MBAs, and I think this is the WAM 2, and I think they will be coming out the WAM 3 top 10s very soon. So each brand they got 20,000 support. This is amazing. So very lucky BoredIn also make it in, and Boy Brewers and also Boy Waters also make it in as well. It's an amazing program. If you don't know what's that program, just please take a look because they're just amazing. Or each brand is also amazing. So the top 10, Jason, will you like to be introduce the top 10, and then we can continue to move on?
Yeah. So this is the second wave, out of 30. So we had the first wave. So Another World, one, and I think, from my understanding, I heard part of this, but I actually think like they've been building this a while, and they recently acquired the mutant, or I'm not too clear in terms of that, but I think great to kind of see this be another, like, I think we have some physical products, but this kind of be another different aspects, right, in kind of diversity of things people are building.
Awesome. And yeah, and the top 2 is actually one of my favorite as well. It's a Boy One Cup. If you been their program, you know how amazing they just kind of like torture you in the morning, even you're so drunk, and the second day you still go to one. And that's because also they have provide a lot of amazing merch, and they have like a T-shirt, and they also have like a um um. The,
The
it is
medal.
something like the medal. Yeah, I don't know how to
Yeah.
like.
The medal award, I think, super
Yeah, yeah.
impressive. Like, that thing opens up. So I know they were 3D printing some of it, and this last one they had outsourced, and really just like, I haven't seen anything like that, right?
I
From the
never seen
award
anything like
standpoint.
that. Yeah, and I think
So
they did
yeah.
a really good job on this. And did you ever want anyone want to have a 1 day program?
I've shown up with bagels. I've done the opposite. Right? How people carb load is that my contribution? But I can't say I'm a runner
No, you're not.
myself. So thanks.
yeah, I
How
would I
about
would fall apart and die. But we did. I think we sent water one time. Peter, I don't know if we've done beer, but that would be interesting.
Yeah,
Water
maybe
run glass.
maybe energy drinks would be Good for that.
I mean, I
Yes,
don't know. There's some events where like they have like the stations or you run from bar to bar, right? Like it's actually like interlaced into the programming. That could be funny.
Nice.
exactly. So, and the Lumberfield, I think everyone's at least watched one episode about the boy boy media and good. Before it's called Boy TV, I don't remember, but they changed it to the Boy Network and codes, and yeah, just say boy all the time, but it's always upgrade the news, the best news for the BAYC community, and also now they much more engagement with the econ. I'm very happy and excited for them. Did anyone go to the episode, or just me talking?
No, I mean, I think Phil is just present in the space and a lot of other spaces. I think I'm tying it to the BBAC, but like I think the rebranding is also them growing their team and growing kind of their coverage and they were obviously already very committed and consistent in the space, but like just feels like they're now able to double down even more with BBAC, and that's I'd love to see it, right? I think I just attributing and correlating that together, but yeah, great to see that grow. So they I don't know if they've one of the first, but like I know they've done live spaces for a while. So I think great to have them lead the way, and I think Phil is attributed to like the phrase of picking up the shovel, which they've done consistently in providing the news centered around Utah.
Of course,
Yeah, and
and
they're I guess on IG a lot. Like they go live and do their thing.
Yeah,
So that's nice
YouTube
to get.
too, I think, right?
Yeah,
yes, they
yeah.
knew
Yeah.
too.
So
Which
they're hitting
which
those.
I think like we've got to break out of just this kind of like crypto Twitter and get more exposure on other platforms. So yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Jim, you have this one too, right? The witches the work. Did you have
This
this
is
one?
one of the pieces of merch I don't have as
Oh
yet. You
no,
know,
I
I'm
have
Oh
it.
I'm
man.
I'm waiting for the bull market to come back because I think I just missed this from the last bull market. So I'm waiting for it to come back before I pull the trigger on one of these.
Yeah, I have it. But I was like putting inside a closet. It's just my kid will be rolling around, and I don't want that to happen. But it's such an amazing wrap because of the material. It's you can see it's handmade, but it's a lot of detail, and I'm very happy for them because they also like supporting a lot of Indian family. Um, and if anyone doesn't know about this project, is they I think they are the first one the product I would say like IP product, but make it by powered by Acon. So it's something about very meaningful for MBA program as well. So if anyone interesting, please check up their AIP, and I think they just have a lot of Sadi case in here. So the next one, Jason, will you mind to continue so I can continue to update on the
Yeah.
yeah.
Spirit Punks, better probably like recognized as Board Vodka. They've got a couple other products out there, and I think like almost like it wouldn't be a Web3 event if you didn't see this there. They've sponsored so many different events, and speaking to them, like they're like more of an events company than anything with how many events they've helped sponsor. But GM, GN, Jin, Doge, so they've got different IP, and I think they're now rolling out kind of like I think it's like a V2 of some IP on their products. So great to see them being recognized here with BBAC as well.
Yeah, they were one of the first brands out there utilizing the IP and putting it on real products. And speaking to Gary, sorry, not Gary, Sailor Gary, he was describing sort of the tech behind it, and it's really fascinating. It's more than just like another vodka. Like there's something about the way that the vodka is made that takes out certain kind of I don't know, chemicals or ingredients that are harmful. So it sounds like they're winning awards and whatnot for good reason, and so it's dope to see Bored Ape IP on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. The next one, did you ever try their coffee? It's so good.
BoredIn Brew.
Yeah.
I have not, but they're in Walmarts,
They
across the
know well.
country. Yeah, so they're great, and I love kind of like the art that they're putting on the bags with IP, and they even have the one bag. I think it's the one in the middle, which I think is 3D. So like they ship it with 3D glasses. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, another great product. And I think, to just take a little step back, is like I think there was 145 applicants for BBAC. And I'm sure like there's many more that, unfortunately didn't get awarded within the 30 or the 20 that's announced so far. But I think the context that I understand is like they were looking at kind of some of the established products and brands that were in the space and have been building a while. So, I think there'll be future opportunities, I'm sure, through Decade, but that's also some of the products that we're seeing, especially in this phase, are brands and products that have established and scaled a little bit further.
Yeah, didn't they already launch another like funding program? It was like a smaller amount, but you could apply like now already.
I think it's
Did you guys
they
see
are
that?
launching it's for the UN, for specific for UN. So
Yeah,
if you have like any UN coming, I think the sponsor, if I remember, the
Oh,
sponsorship
events.
is
Okay.
2K to 5K. So that is a very good like grant of the monies. So if you are interested to apply, I think definitely you have to keep the eyes on FNA, yeah, and or contact directly. I think to the FNA team, not contact daily because I think it's super busy right now. So yeah, I think that's anyone's if you're doing something in the WeCon or any plan in the future, or even you have an idea for the AFAS, you should definitely contact them. Yeah.
yeah. I would just call that out to say like there's a form, and it's around the 30-day lead time that they're kind of targeting. So just make sure you submit with the appropriate like amount of time.
Exactly. So the next one, I think everyone been to their shows, a Grateful Checklist and Grateful shows, and congratulations them guy because they something about them. I'm very impressed. It's like the consistencies, like do it every fucking week, and they just have an amazing guest every fucking week either. So I don't know how they do it, but the organizer was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, Grateful and Beast and I we go way back. They're obviously OGs, but you're right. They've been doing it forever, and I think they were doing like 3 shows a week at some point. It was wild, like during the Bull, and they've since pulled back to 2, which I think is more reasonable, and now they have a little bit of their weekends back, but yeah, the consistency, talking about building through the bear, it's been amazing. And the energy of the show is just great, right? Like they're just funny and super chill. It's very relaxed. So that's what I always love about the Grateful show. And then I think, were these the only guys that got the BBAC grant for the show and the chocolate, or for two different things at the same time? I'm not sure, but that's pretty
I
wild.
I think so far, yeah. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
But
and
it is separate, right? I know you have it listed here together, right? I think they got one for the chocolate and one for the show.
yeah.
Yeah.
So next one will be Forever's,
Bored
and I
munchies.
buy munchies, and I think this is their new package. So reason I do that, it's just like the new package is so cute. They have like each characters on, and congratulations they're winning because they just also amazing team being try hard so hard for following out the event and supporting each MBA brand as well. Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
new
the next
packaging looks really slick.
yeah, the package looks six. Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
I mean,
next
I just to call out the art, I think like much more approachable. Like they're kind of like derivatives of the mutants, so it's pretty cool.
yeah, so the next one, we just actually have a using the barbecue sauce, and in the last week to make a giant piece steak. And anyone try with the different piece meat? Because I do try with the salmon, and I do try with the chicken, and now I try with the beef. They're amazing. But I'm trying to challenge something more. Maybe try to with the lamb, and anyone's have better recipes and piece share.
Yeah, I actually had some family over from the Philippines like last week, and we were cooking burgers in the backyard. And I normally try to put a little bit of like seasoning on them. And I reach in the in the kitchen, grabbed one of these. I think it was like the spicy sweet like version, and I put them on the burgers, and they came out incredible.
Incredible.
I know, Pablo, you've tried it. I've only tried the barbecue sauce, but I've heard really good things about the dry rub. Right? That's
I think the job. Be honest, I am Asia, so barbecue sauce in Asia, so a ton of the options. So I would say that maybe the barbecue sauce is not my first priority try to like impress me, but they're good. I mean, I would say they're good, but the dry spice it's amazing. It's just like you only need to add a little bit, and they even match with the vegetable. You can totally try it on. It's easy. So once you finish a coat, you just put some in the end, and it's amazing. Yeah, and it's way cheap. I would say like the pricing and everything, this branding, what they do is amazing. The whole thing, whole package, it just win my heart. Especially the sunglass, I love it. Yeah,
I'm excited to sell it in the Brewdega. We've got it ready to go on the shelves, and so I think people here in Cowtown, Calgary. I mean, it's a barbecue.
right.
Yeah, so it's gonna go.
Maybe
I
you
got
can.
some of the claws too. I was like, we need the claws. We have to have the claws to sell. So
Yeah, maybe you can add it on your menu, right? I think that'd be great. Did try some of the food in your restaurant. They're amazing, and maybe you can also consider having some more different things with the MBA brand as well.
Yeah, maybe some like Cheetah Pit barbecue chicken nachos or something like that.
I think even maybe go
Kind of
well with a
fire.
pizza, to be honest. Yeah. So the last one, the last one, it's the boy shop. I did try to buy the flamingo one. I think they are also out already. It's also very good strategy how they do with the packet and also the pricing. It's just one good castings in there. The produce is amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they actually have some issues. Sorry, I was just gonna say, like, I think they actually have some issues with the original kind of vendor, and they actually moved to Clubhouse Archives also for this. So, yeah.
I see.
I remember being in Hong Kong in a Uber, and I bought 2 pairs of these in the Uber on the way over to an event.
You just got
nice.
And then, and so Clubhouse Archives, I think I have like 16 other founder past things or whatever. So I'm excited to see James making his way into all these a lot of this merch stuff, and I think we were the first Bored Ape related product that he made. So I've seen a lot of concepts and stuff like that. So these shirts, and there's a T-shirt that comes with each can, right? So
T-shirt and pants, and I mean, I wish they have the females version because it's still kind of a little bit weird and wear those them going on. But I like to try. If they do have a female version. I promise I'll be the first person to buy.
Yeah, I'm sad I only have one of each. And I heard like there may be something if you got all 3 of them. I don't know. It's just some degen stuff, but
you're just making that up because you have one of each.
Yeah, right. I don't even know if I'm gonna open it.
He's putting out the alpha, right? Like, if you have all 3, right, Captain, you got to do something special.
Yeah, and so seems we already talk about the BBA's program. So I do have like a short update from our boy inside, and I'm sure you guys probably want to just get a short review about what you're planning to do and how you feel about the program, and will you mind sharing here?
Yeah, the program itself is awesome just because it takes away not that issue, but that, like, I just saw someone, I won't say who, on Twitter, you can go find out, he said, Mocha kiss my bum or something like that. Something He's mad about Mocha, the way they vote in the DAO. And AIPs are hard to get through. And so I think, anyways, this really takes that one step down. It's like, ThinkApe got a whole bunch of ape to kind of distribute out in a way that makes sense, and they set up criteria, and they had this whole structure, which is really nice to see when they went through and said, this is how we decided on what qualified for this and what didn't. And I think they were very empathetic and strategic in saying, if you didn't get this, it's not because you're not good. It's because it just didn't meet these criteria that we felt we had to put a rubric around what happens. And so, we're just excited to be a part of it. And I really like the content side of it, and how that I've seen some people creating content about us that I didn't know existed, and they're doing board brewing posts, and they're really getting out there and kind of creating that awareness that I think we all need, and this program works really well for that. So.
Yeah, and I do think about the good thing about this program. It's each MBA brand, they just have a ton of the idea about what they want to build, but because the AI people or sometimes just kind of dropping crazy, you probably want to be more focused on getting win. The AI people then forget about the real strategy. And I think Fanny is very kind of giving opportunity for each brand just branding themselves and also spread them for themselves as well. And I do like the new, this is the new package you guys are planning to do? And will you mind to just share a little bit about the BBAC program, what you guys planning to do?
Yeah, Gene, you wanna? Kidding.
The BBAC.
Yeah.
We've
but
done.
You can just give the quick review. We will probably do other episode again. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've done some packaging concepts just out of our love for the program. We're gonna figure out how we execute on that and what we do exactly. So, because we don't have any formal kind of approvals on creating a product or a brand or anything like that, and so we're just still in the what is the coolest thing we can do ideation stage of it. Obviously, we had deliverables in our application, but it's kind of like setting a roadmap. I want to just make sure I'm not speaking out of turn of what we can deliver. So we'll be doing products, and we'll be doing a lot of stuff related to content and telling our story and that kind of thing. So that's our plan with that. I'm currently writing the discourse article, and I'm trying not to just fill gaps, and I'm trying to do it strategically. So. We'll get all that information out there and follow the criteria they've set out and try to do it thoughtfully. So.
Yeah, I realized the whole program was quite encouraging. They also encouraging each MBA brand to film the idea, to basically just write about the idea, what you want to do in the Discord as well, and for the AIP idea. And also they was very encouraging the audience to also give a ton of the good review about each MBA brand. That is quite impressed, because I just want to be honest, even our website get ton of the review, and I realized okay, probably a couple things I should more upgrade and improve, and it's all by the community review, and I think that's amazing. So for the BoredIn part, Jason, would you like to share with everyone?
Yeah, no, I think I think just to double click on it is, I think we've been building BoredIn for 6 months. I think it feels like much longer than that. And I think that there's lots that we want to do, and this is the first kind of ever funding that we've gotten to help do that. So. The newsletter, the website, a lot of the backend tools that help us produce things or help Popple produce things, even in real life meetups. So, for example, like the Ape Fest venue that we booked, some of the funding will go to enabling events for the community there. So, very thankful for the funding to help us do that and continue to kind of show up for the community and unlock and empower some of the capabilities, to spotlight other groups.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the best way to build a community, is a build together. So it's when we applying the BBAC program, me and Jason kind of just common agree. I don't even apply my boy tea, and Jason was sacrificing his boy bakeries and boy bagels, and we just apply boy in as the first, because we feel like, okay, if we apply boy in, that actually just have a more value to having other MBA. And yeah, we just continue building what we focus on, and I hope that's the best research for everyone. Yeah. Talk about the UN, and I know, Jason, you having the UN's coming, right?
Yeah, no, I think maybe it's these guys inspired me to push out in other events. Not that I, we already for Ape Fest, like I'm already part of, I think, like we're helping 6 side community events, 5 of them at the venue, one of them that might actually get picked up by BAYC to be brought into the kind of official Ape Fest. So, but something more local and something, I think I've, like Papa said, like also like in hospitality. So, have a couple restaurants and bagel shops in Philadelphia, and the Bored IP is the consumer side of it, right? So, you know, um, been kind of incubating and building some things in the background there, and we're about to kind of like gear up in our next phase, which encompasses more product, more commercialized products. It also could encompass a venue that's board bored IP or bored BAYC branded with IP. So lots to come there. But thought we'd give a little preview, a little menu tasting at kind of one of my in real life venues, Figo. It's an Italian spot. But we're gonna bring in food from like my Japanese restaurant, my Mexican restaurants, and of course there'll be bagels, right, and things of that nature. So, not a huge event, but I think targeting 15 or 20 apes to come down. It literally just like decided to do it these last 2 days, so it wasn't something that I've planned as hard as these guys. So yeah, lots to live up to for in real life events now. So I've got to double down now on some work here. But yeah, just to go back to a little bit Ape Fest, right? The venue we have is also meant to help some people that haven't thrown events, right? Because it's a little daunting, right? And the venue being a big piece of it. We are lucky enough to find a venue that's 11-minute walk from Ape Fest HQ, and I think that's also why it's so attractive to so many groups. Fits about 200 people, and I think there's definitely some of these community events that we're throwing now that it's their first time doing it, and that's where like just like to kind of help enable that. And Papa and I like made that conscious decision to like throw some of the funds that way, because how important the in real life events are, right? I think again, the FOMO from the one you guys had in Canada, but I think the networking and building with the club, it's we do it on X, we do it offline, but in real life, meeting new people and the network, I think it just hits a little different.
Yeah, and so that's just a picture about our venues in the AFAS, and I think more detail we probably will do again live space soon. So yeah, just stay tuned and follow with us. I'm also
Hey,
following out the
question for
UN.
you guys. Sorry,
Okay.
quick question
Yeah.
for you guys on that event space. You probably can't talk about who is hosting there yet, but like, have you guys seen like what types of events? Is it like MBAs, or is it like NFT communities booking it out, or is it BYC
Yeah,
folks?
yeah. I mean, I think we can share some. I mean, we haven't pushed out the official kind of like programming yet. I think there's still people. So I would say like I can share because we having these conversations with these people, and pretty comfortable to kind of like build in public a little bit, and but like Laughing Ape is one group that they've thrown events, and and this helps them do this here at Ape Fest. We also looked at, okay, how do we support like Welcome Apes? I know between so I would say Superfine, like we're talking to these guys, but they're also talking to BAYC. So TBD there. But of course, we're trying to throw another board brunch. House OG is going to throw a fashion show and incorporate a bunch of other kind of MBA brands and apparel. And even some that are outside our ecosystem. I think Gachita is trying to, have this kind of be a little bit broader to some Web3 fashion brands. So I think we purposely are trying to kind of create some diversity and pull in different groups. I think we have some other people that we're talking to that are in Web3 but aren't kind of as prevalent within BAYC. And that's kind of where like there's going to be some events that are exclusive to BAYC, MAYC holders, and there's going to be other events that I think we're going to try to open up a little bit more. But like, even without the programming, like can the venue act as kind of a way station, a meeting point for people, as we have MBA also displayed here and hopefully made available for purchase, and kind of taking a page out of like what you guys did in Canada, right? So I think that's like the Board Trading Co. concepts, having that there too, and having MBAs kind of that's part of the takeover of Lisbon, right? Is like, can you go to Ape Fest, see MBA there, go to this venue, see it. We're working with Ape Concierge to have some display there. Also MBA boxes. Also Sleep.io we're partnered with, and I think there'll be some visual display there. Not to mention some product as well. And we're talking about wrapping cars, right? So Ape Concierge, as part of their package, has cars, and I've nailed down with him like, hey, here's the cost of wrapping a car, and can we do that and kind of have this takeover of Lisbon? There's also talks of a mural, and potentially doing one that's focused around MBA. So lots in the motion. So not to say like all these things are baked, but like lots of things coming together. And there's some events here. For example, hopefully I'm not spilling the beans and over-promising anything, but like other collections within the Yuga ecosystem have also kind of started reaching out to see if like what they could do. So more to come.
Love it. That's awesome,
we also have like a grab and go packet. Just because a lot of the partnership was confounding. So the reason why we not have fully update, because we also discussioning with governors, Acon governors, and also my side Acon Marcoms will be definitely try to be part of the UN as well, and also a lot of partnership coming. We do not have a launchment yet. It's because we still on the detail, but I can promise you it's actually much more than that. So it's very excited. Yeah. So yeah, and I'm also following out the event. If anyone not had ticket yet, it's actually going to be this month in the 7 and the 8. It will be in the Belgium. So if anyone going around that time in the Amethyst Fest and you not had ticket yet, please reach out me and happy to share the ticket. As Acon Markham, I was bringing a lot of the Acon's creatives to the exhibition, because we do have like a screen display. We also have a product display. We was collaboration with a Mutant Beer. We do have like 100 cans beer giveaway, and also having a lot of merch and prints and stickers and coffees and board teas, and of course Grateful Chocolates will be in there. Bored Brewing's t-shirts will be there as well. So it's a lot of things going on. Just keep the eyes on. So the next part, we get on today. The secret sauce is about the Bored Brewing companies, and I do want you guys like sharing the experience, how you get staff on this company, and how you meet the team, how you build up your team, and when that magic start.
Yeah, for kind of the inception of Bored Brewing was inspired by the IP, obviously. So I was trying to write this out yesterday, but I just, for part of the Thank Ape stuff, kind of the origin story was, anyways, it was in NFT NYC. And it led me down a rabbit hole of Googling Seth Green and how he lost his mutant and stuff, because he was doing a TV show with his ape. And so it's at a place called White Castle in New York. And it's a tavern, White Horse Tavern. And I was actually sitting in there with a couple other apes and mutants. And the one guy showed me his mutant, and it looked like it was at a birthday party. And so it was one of the craziest mutants I've seen. And I've got a buddy who owns a brewery here. It's a brewery district in Inglewood where the tap room is. And so I think we're the 10th, but now we're the 9th brewery, because one actually burned down a few days ago, just down the street from us. Gene and Popple, just where we were sitting at Cold Garden across the street, burned down like 3 or 4 days ago. Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, so,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy in the community here. So, and then, so we're at the tavern, and my buddy owns Cold Garden, which is a cool brewery in Inglewood here. Has a beer called Cake Face, and I was like, this mutant would be the definition of Cake Face, because he looks like he's at a birthday party eating cake. And so I just did a design up of a can with his mutant on it and called the beer Cake Face, and it just kind of started this, like, okay, this is how we can do storytelling and IP on the cans, and start kind of this beverage concept. And so I just started reaching out to people I'd met in real life at all the events, so NFT NYC or Ape Fest or VCon or any of those events, and asking if they wanted to be part of it. And so we have 50 founding IP contributors that we start putting in the cans. You can see Mr. Robot there, the Mega Hopped IPA. You can see there's a whole bunch of them. A few of the people wearing the F50 jackets, some people who are F50 who are not wearing the jackets, but we had a bunch of them come out too. But that mural has all, if you go back one, that mural has all 50 founding IP members. So in the little picture frames above the claw machine game, or the top of the claw machine has Tony Herrera, who actually has Degen Arcade, which is a claw machine. Sailor Energy is a helicopter pilot, and so he's actually playing a game where he's flying helicopters. You've got Stone Fox. She lives in Edmonton. She's on the top left, and her mutant is announcing a hockey game between Calgary and Edmonton, who are huge rivals. And then Neon, I mean, he's a neon sign on the wall. So we tried to really, and Gene just has a whole bunch of people around him laughing at him because they think he's so awesome. And so that's the most personal way. Yeah. And we even have there's an MFer that is ETH Nix, and then the Zeneca, I'm trying to think of the name, the Zeneca PFP above Bishop's right shoulder. We have coasters that have Ranga on it, which is associated with 1K. Anyways, we just have all of these people. And so these are the IP contributors that started out. And so this is my tribute to kind of all of them, and thanking them for putting trust in me and believing that we could do something. And then fast forward, and we're all drinking a beer on the patio of an actual tap room and clubhouse that has a bodega inside, and right now has a pedal pub going on it and a bunch of stuff. And so that was the kind of the inspiration, the impetus for it all in the beginning. And then I think we've produced maybe 16 or 17 different products now. 2 of them are energy drinks. We've got a bunch of beer. We've done some other kombucha, 4 seltzers. We ship to 49 states or 48 states. And we've got, there's a few there. The only one that's not ours on there is Happy Dad, but we were hoping Snoop was going to come by because he was playing in Calgary. So, but we'll keep the Happy Dad on there because it's aligned with our Web3 ethos, since it's the Death Row version, which is Snoop's.
I actually tried all of them, and I would say very impressed for the energy drink. And I do like the IP, and And because I'm come from New England, so I kind of love the IPA drinks a lot. And yeah, I think each of them, it just surprised me that it's so tasty. Yeah.
Yeah. The Quirk Quencher, I mean, that's for the entire Quirkies NFT project. So Sin, the founder of Quirkies, is one of our 50 IP contributors, and so we're really excited to kind of launch that for them. And then Bored Energy has my M1 on it, but we'll be doing other variations of the energy drink as well. And it's been crazy to go from idea to actual product to actual physical location to actual the Beer at Ape Fest in Hong Kong and distribution in 2 countries. And yeah, so it's good.
Yeah, I would just say, like, people, I don't know that some people realize, like, how much work and effort it can take to produce products at a commercial level, right?
Yeah.
And like, I think, like, it's 50 is ambitious, right? You guys aren't even just doing beer, you're doing energy drinks and kombucha and a broader range, right? So I think, like, super impressive. I know, like, there's this kind of clash between, like, Web3 and this space of, like, how fast that moves versus, like, now developing physical product, and it's a lot of work and just hard to turn on a dime, because that's just not how it works, right?
Yeah, and we didn't just white label somebody else's product. All of these are our own recipes. The energy drinks, like, I did 4 bench tests where we picked the carbonation, the amount of caffeine, the amount of certain sweeteners and artificial sweeteners, and what our target market was, all that kind of stuff. That double hopped IPA, it's a 7.5% beer that IPAs are tough to do, and we've actually made it twice now, and we've had it in liquor stores in Alberta. There's a group of 28 liquor stores, and they took full first batch. My funny thing is, like, I don't pay much attention, but somebody, when Garga posted that we'd done a good job, they're like, "Oh, it takes like 5 minutes to put drinks in a can. Like, this is stupid. They didn't do any work." And I was like, "Oh my god, I want to strangle you," but not really. But like, it's been full on
Yeah.
to do. And I think we've gone. I have maybe a little issue going overboard, because, like, that custom neon sign is hand drawn illustration that we did, and then we made patches for that, and that's in the doorway. And so we have a whole branding guide. Like, we've gone really to the depths of kind of, like, really crafting a brand, and now we need to execute and scale and grow. And I would say one of the best things is sitting outside on the patio and watching. Everyone has to walk around the patio and everyone stops and looks, and nobody, I mean, not nobody probably, but I haven't seen anyone do, like, a stank face when they look at the mural. They absolutely love it. They're like,
Yeah.
and little kids be, "Look at all the monkeys," and, like, it's just, everyone's taking pictures of it, and they're really giving, in my opinion, and the people who sit and drink on the patio, whether it's an energy drink or a beer, they all seem to really enjoy the product, but they also really enjoy the brand and the story, and they're not like, "What is this silly NFT on here?" They don't care. It's like a Tony the Tiger to them. It's a character. It's story driven. It's not way more, but in my opinion, it's way more interesting than just a standard beer can. Like, their advertising is kind of stale, and you put Clydesdales running through the plains and talk about a beer. Like, I'm no shade to Budweiser, they're huge, but it's gotten a little bit old, and craft beer is so differentiated all around the world now that it's fun to spin this up in a way that I think is craft, but also can be positioned for the masses. Where
I just imagine your next can being like an ape riding a Clydesdale.
Yeah.
Well, Peter had the name for it. He said overboard, so that could be the next IP play.
Yeah,
and
totally.
I just wanted to share a funny story, because Peter, you're talking about, like, how the response from, like, the general public as they walk up, and I swear to God, I think it was on our way to basketball. I saw this couple that was like that did the same thing. They're walking by, they stopped, they looked at it, and they saw all the monkeys, and then I think the wife asked their husband like, "Oh, what are these?" And then the husband was like, "Oh, it's an easy way to lose like 50K on like a digital asset or something." But then right after that, they both like turned around and took the selfie, and I was like, "Got you!" Like the psyop is on. We win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely catching eyes, and definitely it's like a lot of potentials, and the picture on the left is actually one of my favorite picture. I just accidentally to take it, but it's like that's the exactly the feeling the whole event and giving me just everything's about the community, but it's like I'm just very happy to be a part with that. And yeah, and even as a BoredIn, we able to show our newsletters in doing the Brewer Fest, and it's amazing. And just want to say thank you so much. And other part I love it the most, I probably will be from the basketball. And and who come up with the idea for the basketball?
That's all Peter.
Yeah,
No.
Gene came
I
up
wanted
with
to
the
do like a normal, free
he
throw
came up
shoot
with the
contest.
name Brewsketball, and I just didn't want to be like, I remember in Hong Kong, it was Hotline Bling and myself and Thread Guy on a team, and like I was getting blisters on my feet. We were trying so hard, and it was very intense. And even the basketball they did in New York was super intense. There were guys like yelling at each other and being in each other's face, and that's just not my style of having fun. It was enjoyable to watch in New York, but it was so aggressive, and so like it's basketball. It's just the way it is. And I was like, we're not gonna have people come out here and like tie up their laces and do 3-on-3 and expect to like, slam dunk in somebody's face. Let's make it something where any skill level. My kids, they participated in basketball. Some of the things are just kicking a ball and trying to get it in the hoop and throwing it backwards and, do it with your left hand. And we had different sized balls and different objects to throw in. And so I just thought that was a really good way to make it accessible for everyone so that everyone can have fun. And I was actually very pleasantly surprised. There was no one standing on the side being like, I'm not joining this. Every single person who made it over to the basketball court was in there. And there was no like, oh, I'm not good at basketball, I'm not going to participate. So 100% participation, I'm pretty sure, except for the videographer. And so that was really nice. And then at the end, it was organically a few people started playing 2-on-2, and that wasn't competitive in the sense that they were winning anything. They just wanted to get some exercise. And it was a beautiful day. It was really hot. So yeah, it was nice. That was the ethos for that. So I think that's something we could repeat every year for sure. If we ever wanted to have a quick 3-on-3, if we had, 9 people who were intense on basketball, they could play after and people could watch that. And then it became interact and participate, and then, be a spectator after that. So yeah, it was I was glad it went so well. It was good.
And I'll just say shout out to ApeCoin DAO Marcom's team for sponsoring this specific event for us.
Yep.
As Peter said, it turned out great, and so always thank you for the support. We still have those signs up, right? So we can use those for
Exactly.
So that means you'll have to sponsor the next one.
The one sign got pretty broken when you bent it in the wind, Gene. So we might just have one usable left, but
no.
We can always get another one. Yeah, that one.
So, I know, Peter, you probably have to drop up soon because of the time. I do want to, before you go, I kind of want to ask you a question. I know you've been handling a lot of IP development with the partnership, and how you share your cooperation with each people, and how your discussion with the partnership with each IP.
Yeah, so like we have a legal IP agreement that everyone has gone into. I mean, Baron announced, I just signed an agreement with Bored Brewing. He just took so long to get to it. What it made it sound like it was this new thing. And I think even some of the other founders 50 are like, what's that, Baron? He's like, oh no, the same thing you guys signed. I just took months and months to do it, which I thought was hilarious, but I'm glad he's excited. We're very excited to have his IP on a can. And then the collaboration around like building out what it looks like, it ranges from, one that we have coming out in the US. The next thing we're canning is a lager and like that person went and had their own artist design based on our label template, a whole bunch of illustration and a whole bunch of art, and it'll be the most different can so far, I think, in terms of the standard beer. We have our seltzers. These are all the beer and then energy drink and obviously the water there, but our seltzers look very different. Anyways, this will be the most different beer, all the way through to someone. Yeah, those are the seltzers. I don't even have those because they're only in the States, which is so.
I have like an empty can.
Yeah, you guys should show off the cans that I don't have.
My husband was like, as a Danny fall out my other 4 can. It's like I just angry about him in the last week. He said, I don't know. It's like he said, I don't know. I said, that's the monkey can. I want to keep it.
And so so I would say some people just say, I don't have an idea for a story. I sort of have a name for my asset, my IP, my PFP, all the way through to like crafting their own stories. So it's the full spectrum of creation and collaboration, but we always have a little back and forth and say, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you, we're probably going to change the green on Mr. Robot's. He has like a really cool Pantone neon green color that he used on his weed packaging, and he got that for us. And so next time we do it, the IPA, we'll adjust that a bit. And so it's iterative for sure, and it's definitely collaborative. Some people have us, take on most of the, not heavy lifting, but most of the creative portion, and then they just like to fill in the blanks. And then other people, like I said, have come through and had a whole concept in mind, a whole plan, a whole vision, which, there's
cool.
Yeah.
Gene's got all the things.
I just got to reach into the inventory.
Jim, I need to wire your AIP to help you to get a bigger cost for this.
And we even learned things between can iterations. So
nice.
We shortened the wording down on Feld so that the ape was bigger here. This is the new one versus the old one where we had the word English pale ale, and so we got rid of unparalleled. So Feld's, it sounded cool. Feld's unparalleled English pale ale, because there's some P's and alliteration there, but we just went with Feld's English Ale so we can get a larger ape picture there and really handle the stuff.
Much cleaner.
Yeah, and I'm just noticing that the little illustrations we did all those little illustrations, they're lighter on the new one, which I actually don't like. So now I have to change it again.
I mean,
that's a level of detail that Peter operates at, you know. And you could tell it's not just cans; it's like everything throughout the business, So.
I mean, it takes a lot of work, right, to coordinate with all these people. So
it's a ton of work.
Is that still Web 2?
We go with the details, and I still remember the first time I meet him, he was like bringing 2 empty can cost to Canada, and bring it to the MIT Fast. MIT and just like showing everyone on the details, and I happy to see he's just like so much passion on each details, and especially someone as a designer, I'm always happy to see each can is getting improvement, and I definitely see on the quality, especially when you're honing on the hand, it's the whole thing. So like that's the same. The whole experience, not just about the IP, is more about the experience and the feelings. And I think he did such a job on doing that.
Yeah, and it's inspirational, right, for other people in the space to also drive to reach that level. So I think definitely applaud you guys. Can I just ask the IP agreements? Like, are you guys still facilitating those like Web 2, or are you guys looking at on-chain, or where maybe that sits today?
Yeah, I mean, it's Web 2 right now. We had hoped to use kind of the platform that Sassy Labs had built, or the Jenkins the Valet build out that they're doing. So talk to Tally Labs and talk to Sassy. I think they either hit snags or the MBA program like took priority, or and I mean, they went and did the NBA thing, and then they went and did the Pudgy Penguins IP on-chain stuff. And so we were less of a priority, I think, in terms of that. And it was only 50, so it wasn't like this. You can license any asset in a whole thing. And so scalability-wise, it just wasn't there. It made it a lot more work for me. It would have been easier to say, hey, go sign your wallet and do a thing. But those rails aren't quite built out yet, I don't think. Yeah. That'd be a cool thing to actually do on ApeChain for
Pablo and I were talking about it.
It was
I,
yeah. So we also having a lot like very good meetup with the Acon community as well. I'm definitely excited to see what we can build in the Acon, especially like based on this time the experience. We also do a lot the preparation on the March, and I just want to show on the screen as well. I'm actually just wear that today, and it's just like every time I feel like we're throwing out some UN, we're just like learning something new, and yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys want to build in the A-chain. Is anything I can help with, and I'm definitely happy to help. Yeah, and
I
yeah,
mean,
it's like and also
even getting that poster done. You're working with an artist, a new artist. It wasn't our artist that did that. Well, it wasn't one of our three. And just like those are all the Canadian apes that are part of F15. So incorporating that and having iterations on that, even that kind of stuff, is communication and collaboration when working through things. And so yeah, it's everything is important. Yeah, I'm excited
and
to,
I guess
so I just to circle back on Popple's things, like the 8-chain collaboration stuff for MBAs. I think we should all get together and figure out some ways to leverage that and do that. Because even that hat, that Bored Brewing F50, there's only 50 of these, and so it says F50 in the bottom corner, and it's an actual real like nice hat.
cool.
These, so I mean nothing. Yeah, so all the details, probably details. Just got to start paying influencers to show product and start selling more. But,
yeah, it's shameless shill of Bored Trading Co, and that's what we're hoping to do. Also, is to push through with some of that influencer and out of crypto Twitter. But yeah, I mean, I think to what you said, Peter, like we definitely need to like put our heads together a little bit more as an MBA group. I think like Ape Chain coming and some of the possibilities that we should lean into. I mean, even this Brewdega, from what I heard from Gene around like the payment processing and purchasing, like those are I think active conversations. Like who's it? Brazy also just put out that kind of like Shopify plugin that can convert the currency to ApeCoin, right? I think there's just so many little pieces that we can kind of like figure out how we come together to solve.
Yeah, and for me, I'm a technology co-founder. I started a tech company, and that's what I ran. So CPG is just a byproduct, but yeah. I think there's some real ways to use technology there in decentralization and Ape Chain, and so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm even having like lots of conversation around like the POS for Ape Fest, like how do we enable that for Bored Trading Co, but then also like I think the booths that they're having at Ape Fest itself for the NBA brands, like they've said on the forum, like they're not going to provide the payment rails for it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's just like something we always try to be figure out, and I wish to stop them about by some pocket they could the value to pay with Acon, but unfortunately it doesn't. So usually what we do is still have to go with the com-based commerce. But the problem is like just the gas fee is so over expensive. For example, I did try to as a pocket to when I collaboration with the fan chocolates, and there's like around $20 just for the gas and buying chocolate, but the chocolate was $80, and it's like no way we're doing that. yeah so it's a crazy. So seems that we talk about the bodega in the Bored Fest, and will you guys share about how you guys are having this idea and how's the way you set up, and is the will be forever in there to selling all this MBA brand, and what's the plan?
Yeah, I guess I could take that one, right, Peter?
I have a meeting I need to jump off to. I apologize.
Cool.
So I'll let Gene handle from here.
Yeah, thanks, Peter.
Thanks for having me.
Later, Peter.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye, Peter.
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, so now
perfect.
you can see whenever you want because he's leave.
Yeah, exactly.
All the alpha,
Woo,
Gene.
he's
All
gone.
the alpha. Yeah,
No,
all the
Right, so
alpha.
this and this and this. No,
Stop the
but
recording, but don't.
yeah. It's off the record. Off the record. All the viewership starts to tank now. But no, yeah, I think the Brewdega, which we lovingly named it. I forget how it came up, but we just thought, look, it's in the spirit of Ape Help Ape, and we saw what a bodega looked like in Hong Kong, and so it was about just kind of taking it to the next level. I think we all knew, as the discussion in the BoredIn was like, yeah, how can we take this to the next level? What's the next thing we could do? And we thought, obviously, actually having it be people being able to purchase things, right? And so we started with that idea in mind, and then Peter worked with his like design and production team to actually build the Brewdega like physically. And it turned out great. I mean, he even chose like very similar colors to the original Brewdega, not the exact same color, but something similar. Obviously, we named it Brewdega to pay homage to the original, and then obviously reaching out to as many apes and MBAs as we could to try to get them featured and and hopefully help like sell the products in the actual Brewdega itself. So this is a permanent location, right? So it's not just for show for one day for one event. Like it's here. The staff is being trained up, on each of these products to talk about them, to help sell, and hopefully we can actually move some stuff, and help some businesses out. But that was the spirit of it, and that was kind of like the whole point.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing. I think that's like, to kind of go back to my thoughts around like the economies and scale and networking. Like I don't know that this happens like it does here and so quickly, right? Like normal kind of like business dev and getting this is more of a transactional thing versus like you guys are now enabling this for a bunch of brands, right? And the distribution of it, right? So no, it's love to see it. And I think like we're seeing this continue to develop, right? Like Bored Cuban has a shelf with it. I can only imagine as like more and more physical locations that pop up that drive IP. Like if we enable this, it then has kind of some of this global footprints in distribution, even from a small brick and mortar standpoint, right?
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about the way we kind of put together, but it was all just DMs, to a bunch of the different founders, and we gave them the pitch. It was super quick. They all kind of understood what was going on, and it was like, oh, Brewdega, but sales. Okay, so let's figure out what's your wholesale cost, add a margin on top of that, and then that's how much we'll list it for, and we'll take it on consignment. Once we sell it, we'll kick you your cut of the profits back, and we all make money. We all get a little bit of exposure, and hopefully it's sort of establishing that sort of initial economic model of how this might be able to work and scale going forward.
Yeah, I think it's understated, right? Like with physical product, like the ability to bridge the IP, right? Because like so many things in Web3 are not tangible. You can't touch, feel, experience it in that way, right? But like the physical product, is helping do that, right? And kind of, spread the IP further in a different way. And I think that's also like how it's kind of driving this. I'm not gonna say like mass adoption, but like someone's gonna buy chocolate because they love chocolate, right? They're not gonna necessarily care as much like even with like the seltzers, right? Like people aren't gonna not go to Bored Brewing and have a seltzer because there's an ape in the mirror, right? Like it's maybe one or two people, right? That might have lost money, like bought at the top, right? But like ultimately, like I don't know that masses care. If it's good product that is out there in the world, like they're going to consume the product.
Yeah, and you know, I was on a Spaces the other day talking about kind of the not I don't know if it's the importance, but yeah, maybe it's the importance of like physical products. So this was part of my background, you know, prior to Web3, doing physical products, strategy consulting, that kind of stuff. But the funny thing was that when I started, there was actually when I started consulting, there was like a company that I was helping out, and the product wasn't physical. It was very much like a technology based solution that you had to like explain the what it how it worked first before you got to the product itself. And it was very difficult to have that conversation. Even like explaining it to my family, it was tough. But like once I started working on like Fiji water, or Palm Wonderful, it was like, oh, it's a bottle of water, or it's like, you know, a can of juice. It became that much easier to talk about it. So it's more approachable, right? And I think that's the quality that these physical products have, that where they can serve as the bridge to Web3. Like we're bridging something that's very familiar with, like, oh, it's a physical product of beer, it's a can of beer, or it's a bottle of water, whatever it is, and bridging it over to Web3, and now applying, you know, all of the Web3 layers of knowledge on top of that. So it's not the only bridge to crypto or Web3, right? But it is a bridge that is very easy to cross, I would say. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And yeah, and also as you see, like just something I really like about this setup, it's like they do have one side, it's about introduce about the brand, and also other side they do have a QR code. It's pretty straightforward to introduce each MBA brand, and I think that that's actually very helping each MBA brand promote, and the people can buy. I'm very hopefully like in the future maybe we can build something like chain or something can be direct to easy for the payment, so that will be helping sell each MBA brand sell. But at the same time, like, I think that's a setup is just making everyone as a business owner happy. Yeah, having
yeah.
opportunity to just showcase and then yeah, and also I see.
And actually, Papa, before you move on, you were talking about QR codes. I just wanted to show something really quick. I don't know if you guys can see this, but Peter's team actually built a custom mobile app where you can actually order order the products.
Oh,
So you know,
Yeah,
you
that's what
scan
I
the
was talking
QR
about.
code. Yeah, you
Yeah,
scan the QR code. It takes you to this page. Like, oh, I want some. I see this on the shelf. I want to buy the, you know, the bagel chips. You
yep,
click on that, and then it takes you to a checkout, and you can
yeah,
pay, you know, in whatever currency you want, or sorry, payment method you want, including crypto. And you check out right then and there on the
yeah.
spot. And just like AFest Hong Kong, someone in the back takes it. It prints out a ticket, and they start building the order. They call your number, and you pick it up.
So it's integrated within his POS.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean, that's awesome, right?
It's
Yeah,
super
I
slick,
think
and it's something that we
that's
put
slick as hell.
together.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, I
also about this payments app, because that would be amazing. Maybe something we can be helping all this MBA brand for the payment,
Apple,
because
that's what we were just talking about.
no, I'm talking about can we do other episode for
Yeah.
inviting other MBA brand, because well, that's also what we need to sort out for the AFAS as well, right?
I
So
I
let's
think
do
we should have
other,
a workshop, right?
yeah,
Let's
so we
workshop the
workshop.
idea. Yeah. I
Right,
mean,
we should like
and I think the other piece that if I understood it correctly, like even if you guys don't have the physical product there, I think there's some integration with a Shopify where like you're now kicking it over to their website, right?
I
So
mean, yeah, I think so. That was an idea that we had. We never actually got to fully implement it because there's just not enough time. But yeah, there is a way, and I believe someone is working on it, where you can, like, let's say Bored Brewing has a Shopify shop, or Bored Bagels has a
yeah,
Shopify shop. If another website wanted to list, you know, Bored Brewing or Bored Bagels on their website, there's a plugin where you can actually, you know, basically plug your data into that new site, and people could purchase your products on that other site.
yeah.
And then it would track to yours, and you know, your inventory management would you know, kind of flow through and stuff.
It's like porting over the items and products to then create the feed, I guess.
Right.
But that's awesome, right?
Yeah, because you're already operating on the same platform. Shopify has all the data already, so it's
It's just forcing you to buy it.
No, I mean it's also just aggregating into one place, right? It's kind of a marketplace. So I think that's a huge topic for MBAs and how this thing needs to scale, right?
Exactly. And and also like I just love the way how they develop the cube, the little cube, like the light bulb. I don't even know how to call that anymore. Like it's how the way you set up is definitely how for showing the product. You can see how the shoes you've been setting up, and I love it. I just feel like killing it. Definitely killing
Oh man, we got rugged so hard by Amazon or whoever because we had like lighting and like sign holders and all this stuff like that were coming, and we found out late that they got lost in the shipments because like Peter's got a bunch of different shipments for MBAs and like other parts and stuff coming all day, so it's like it's hard to know like what we have and what we don't have, and so we had to make a lot of pivots last minute. But it still came out great, right? No one sees that kind of stuff in the background, but like we're sort of panicking on the inside. But
that's gonna be me at A Fest, right? Managing the shipment, being like, what's here, what's not?
Yeah, it's that analogy where you see like a duck like swimming like very smooth across the pond, but like underneath he's like going crazy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be us.
I think that's Papo and me all the time, right? Like literally all the time.
No, it's actually every week. It's every week because it like maybe people doesn't see it. It's actually I'm the one always in the behind scene to try to matching each guest speak and with all this photo. And it's actually always feel that panicking coming, but every time go forward, I just feel okay, cue it again, let's do it again. It's just like science, like.
But let's be honest, like that's also like being a parent. I feel like you're always like trying to manage like everything that's going on. So,
yes, it look like in the drop, right? Yeah. So I do want to highlight about a little bit in the wall, the back, the some of the artwork it's pretty amazing. Jim, do you able to share like each artist doing which piece? Like for example, like who's doing the big mural, who's doing on the behind and
yeah, I mean, Peter knows the most, but what I understand about the mural artist, so I think it's an artist that Peter's been working with for quite a while. So it's someone who he obviously trusts, and we actually are using them for other artwork that we have yet to release. It's top secret for now, but yeah, it's the same artist that did that, and like Peter said, there's so much detail that went into that big mural. The number of edits he had to go, back and forth, and like the list of notes to make sure that you got all the little intricacies of each ape or each IP, like the neon as a neon sign, like those were individual notes that had to be written down and communicated, and then tweaked as you went. Like he did that for everyone, and it's like it's amazing the level of detail that he was able to kind of provide, and then the actual execution of it obviously was amazing. And then on the bottom left, that's an artist by the name of Riley. She's I don't have her handle handy. I think it's The Art of Riley, and she's on Twitter, and she's on Twitter and Instagram, and she's a local artist from Calgary, and she's actually got some artwork up at a couple of the breweries around town, and that's how we met her. And she killed these two pieces. Her style is this like it's like it's the artwork, but then it's almost like this X-ray skeleton cut through that she does, and we saw it and loved the idea of it, and she absolutely crushed these two.
She definitely crashed that, and we love it so much. And also, like she's just a wonderful girl I met in the doing the whole. It's kind of like a surprise for me. Basically, just make one more new friends, and definitely love the artwork style. But I also feel like Boy Brewers becoming one of the brand very careful on the artist's image and detail, and I'm just happy to see like IP become something more sustainable and more development just like continues to building something good design. And I think this is something I'm very, each time I'm seeing you guys brand, I'm just very proud of.
Yeah, and thank you. And speaking of that too, like I think the artwork on the right was done by our in-house art team, and I would say that's probably our secret weapon, right? Like all of the cans that you see, are crafted with this with this eye, I guess, for art, and when we do collaborations and have conversations with people to bring them on, or doing collaborations with them, when you show them the artwork with their IP on it, or with their branding, it's like a closer, like the ultimate closer, because people like can actually see it, and it's well done, right? Like all the cans that you've already seen, but I think this was done by the same art team.
Yeah, it's just like look amazing from my side. And and I do want to mention about the jacket, because the jacket just look amazing.
Yeah, I don't damn, I don't have mine on me. It's in my room. But
Oh no,
yeah,
I can't believe
Clubhouse
it.
Archives team. Yeah, they crushed it. And the best part is the inside. Peter was there. He'd pop his out, but the inside has your IP on it. So it's got my ape on the inside piece of it. So it's like a low key flex, right? You're not like too flashy. And then on the patch you see on the left shoulder, or I guess on her right shoulder, it's got the IP, your ape, on it. And then there's also a RFID tag, or some kind of like chip inside the sleeve, where if you scan it, it pulls up your IP as well. It links to something like your Twitter or your OpenSea link or something like that.
Awesome.
And it's super comfy and it's warm. So
yeah, I definitely need to get a jacket. And we also just want to say how appreciate BoredIn's newsletter, basically just everywhere in display during the Brewer Fest. I'm actually also learned something that's something probably will be continue to do it. It's just like how important to having each branding, same as your QR code, is just like how important to just develop the news for each MBA brand. And that's the whole ecosystem. It's you good, I good, right? So everyone good in the end. So and
I would sorry, I'd just call out the newsletter, because like that's also something that the BBA sees enabling us to further invest in printouts. I think Apewell also called it out with the idea of like how in Papo also, like how do we maybe leverage it and provide it to people that want to present it at other conferences, or even put it into shipments of their MBA products to help promote the broader ecosystem or other brands. So I think that's definitely something that we're going to continue to figure out how to kind of propagate that more to help the ecosystem.
Yeah, and I think our today's time is almost in the end, but before the end, I do want to share the video about Jim you just posted. Let me find the video first.
Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying again.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot of amazing moment. It's like it's not just about the UN; it's about the friendship and everything. So let me find it. I
haven't seen this.
Oh, you haven't? Oh man,
I'm excited to see this.
You should
turn the
see
speakers
it.
up.
Let me close this one. Let me move this. Actually, I have to go by this.
As she's pulling that up, I mean, I would just say, like, Peter referenced like the ideas, right? And someone being like, oh, it takes 5 minutes to slap something on the product, right? It reminds me of Gordon's like kind of comeback around like, oh, like if it's so easy to create a project, like why don't you go and do that, right? And look, I think like across like these things and kind of like it really shows through, right? Like the amount of attention to detail and ideas are, I'm not gonna say ideas are easy, but like execution is key, right? And you guys just keep executing. So it's awesome.
We try. It maybe looks nice on the surface, but it's up. I can't hear the music, can you?
No.
Can you hear music?
No.
Hold on, let me check on Twitter.
It's on my side. Maybe.
Yeah.
I can hear the music from you.
Maybe I just can't provide the music on this browser, but it's on my side or something.
Maybe we can post the link in the
I think I can post
in the
something.
thread below.
Yeah, we'll post it, retweet it, and I'll definitely watch it there. And I'll have even more FOMO because I didn't go.
Yeah, I mean, this was fun to put together just because it was also like, you know, the culmination of months of work and planning, and like to actually see it in the end kind of play out. And then it was cool, like gathering all the, you know, all the photos, all the, you know, all the content, the videos from you know, everyone that was there, and putting it together, and had to organize like, all right, this was from the basketball, this was from the tap room, this was from the, you know, the pedal pub, and kind of have tell like some semblance of story. And then you know, I used to put together these types of videos in the past, so I like to, you know, line up
I think
the
maybe the best
transitions
way.
with
Maybe the best way.
that.
I realized that because of maybe it's because of my Wi-Fi, so they couldn't pay in the browser with the music, and also the video was like delay. Did you have the video on your computer? Or sure, I can screen share for
Let me see.
I mean, if it doesn't have this, it's okay. We can do it again next time. Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah. If you have it, you can screen share, and maybe that would be better. Because I think that maybe because it happened, my Wi-Fi is terrible and it's not able to show the music.
So we're expanding the AIP to get me a better mic, get you better Wi-Fi. You know, the list continues to build.
Everything's AIP, right?
You know,
We definitely have to have like an AIP workshop. Just create a bunch like ridiculous MBAs idea and just making some trouble to the down. Like, okay, submitting the new mic to Popils and
your Marcoms. You've got your Marcoms hat off. You
well, it's
to
different.
say that.
So to be honest, like Acon DAO should be something support dream, right? So that's the dream. So, yeah.
Even crazy dreams, right?
Yes, it's some crazy dreams. So, Jim, did
All
you
right,
find?
let me see if I can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can play it.
Yeah, maybe you can share the music.
Can you hear the music? I can hear the music. Can you hear it?
No.
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 Wow.
Oh,
Definitely better quality for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to just share the link. But
yeah,
like
we have a share link.
That's the first thing I'm doing as I get off of this live is to take a look at the video.
Yeah, I promise you I will share the link, and I'm don't let you down. So
yeah, I think it's my pinned tweet too. So that should help.
Anything you want to share in the last, because I feel like we've been talking about Bored for a very long time, and also I'm kind of happy today we just like go with the one brand, because usually we do like 3 or 4 brands at the same time. I feel like not giving enough time for each brand. We'll probably would do more just like focus on each brand. Anything you want to upgrade from yourself, like Jim, like you've been doing a lot of things with IP, and maybe it's not just about the Bored Brewers, anything just from yourselves and anything from your side?
Yeah, we're with Bored Brewing. We're working with a couple really cool like partnerships. No, Sean, you can't. Actually, Sean has actually seen my office like IRL. So funny he's asking.
Now is the time. Can you show your office?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Let's show your office.
It's such a mess actually. Like
this is
I give you a big screen. I'm gonna give you a big screen.
This is the old school MTV Cribs.
Yeah.
Right.
All this crap is messed up because I'm like going through some merch because they're actually like trying to sell some stuff. But yeah, it's kind of a mess right now. So I apologize. But yeah, this is the office. It's very much ape centric. You've got all the ape water cans from the Ape Ambassadors. You've got my Bored Brewing cans up there, my Hong Kong poster, the FOMO sign, all the hats. a bunch of my custom shoes, more 8 Fest posters, some Bape stuff, a lot of the the drinks, all the drinks,
All the things.
yeah, all the things.
Man.
We've got some more Ape Water cans up there. I've got my screen is off, but I have my Top Shot moments hanging up there. More posters and merch there. Shout out to Andy for getting me that guy. But yeah, I forgot where it was. Oh, I was talking about just like updates. Yeah, we're gonna drop some announcements on collabs pretty soon. So super excited about that. Been working on those for a while. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to, speaking of, sponsors and the the sponsors of Brewfest, Fuck It Productions was obviously a huge partner of ours, helped with a lot of like the marketing and the artwork and, that flyer that you see on the back of your shirt, Popple, right? Hokopo and the team, the art team there, like crushed it for us. And so, thanks to them. And we were planning another event. You may have seen the account, the Fuck It account, tweet out something about, it looks like a Fuck It sign in Hollywood or something like that. So there could be something going on in LA, perhaps. Soon there might be a Web3 conference happening in a month or so. So that might be going down. I think that was a question in the chat or on Twitter. So Kat, that one's for you. And Mr. Robot, we talked about Mr. Robot earlier. He also helped sponsor the event. So shout out to Mr. Robot for
keep the big shop of the Mr. Robot.
Oh yeah, here. I've got a bunch of his products. Like someone from their team just dropped it off at the house, back when these were like popping off, and so I always managed to keep a bunch of MBA brands close. So is that it? That's probably it for now. There's
just for now.
Yeah.
I mean, Bored Brewing available shipping across the U.S. Right? If I know I reached out to you directly, but if someone's throwing events and they want to reach out on a collab or to bulk buy, is there a process they should take?
Yeah, it's just DMs, Twitter DMs,
Okay.
Typical Web3. Hit me or Peter up. But if anyone just wants to buy to consume, at their house or whatever, hop on the website boredbrewing.xyz. You can get the seltzers. I think we've got 4 seltzers and some beers that are shipping. And then Peter was actually just here in California, shoring up our next production run that'll also be available in the US. I think we're doing some lagers. So we're getting more and more products up on the site for people to try. More IP out there in the world.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Excited. Yeah. And what about you, Jason? Anything to update?
Yeah, just again, the events, July 13th, Saturday. It is token gated for apes and mutants. And we'll be kind of like doing a menu tasting, previewing some commercialized product that we have in the works. As we're also kind of going out to raise some money for Bored IP to really scale that. And A-Fest, right? So tap in. I think like it's now kind of like my full-time job, with kind of coordinating this effort, but like, artists and communities and all these groups, right? I think A-Fest is like 2,000-3,000 people, right? And that we're gonna have a blast there, but like we're all gathering in one place, and like the deeper interaction that we can have in a venue with 200 people for a side event. I don't, I had this conversation with BAYC, like it's not to compete with them at all. I can't compete with them, right? It's
and talk about BAYC. Just a reminder, the application form for the BAYC, the MBA is closed and it's right in the July
Sunday, the 7th, right?
Yeah, I think. But just make sure if you're interested to display or even interesting to just being there and just like take a look. Yeah.
Yeah, no, fill it out. I think there's going to be more information, but like I think if it's something people are looking to do, definitely don't miss the deadline.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
yeah, and hopefully see you guys next week again, and we continue to do more maybe for the BBAC we use, and maybe like Jim, so anytime, so welcome back soon, and thank you for joining us, and thank you Jason's and having me hosting, and thank you myself and doing amazing host again. No,
so
kidding.
thank you, Papo.
Yes,
You know.
thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so don't forget if anyone interested in the collaboration with the board brewer for the next event, just invite James or Peter's always person. They always answer questions 24 hours. Same as us, BoredIn, we do having a lot of things building and coming, and just like let's continue just non-stop building. Yeah,
We're there.
great.
Thanks
And
again for having me, guys.
bye bye.
Yeah, thank you, Gene.
Peace.
Peace.